Christian people who've gone into captivity, but they're going to come out. But for them to move right now, there's no way for them to move. I can't move. I have no money. I have no place to go. There's nothing for me to do but to sit right here and wait
for years and years,
God has got for me to do.
For years and years, there have been people knocking on my door when I've worked at the radio station, and people knew where I was, right there at the radio studios. And people would come knocking on my door and said, "RJ, God told me to come and share with you." And some of these people have had dreams and visions, even visitations of angels, and have been shown that war is coming to America. God told me to go and get a place ready. And I know of locations that are being prepared on a voluntary basis. It would be great if, big funding was there to help get them ready, but for years and years, 20 acres over there, 40 acres over there, 5 acres, 200 acres, 180 acres, 2,000 acres, locations where people who've been listening have been getting ready, but they've been doing it out of their pocket, and it's been a real challenge. But locations here in the Rocky Mountains that are in the process of being prepared for these events that are coming upon America. And they've told me, RJ, people would think that I'm nuts, but I'm telling you, God has shown me this stuff, and He told me to tell it to you. And I know where many of these locations are, at least here in the Rocky Mountains. I don't know all of them. I know some of them. But this is a very real thing, Jack.
Well, a lady sent me an email about a month ago from Kentucky. And back in the early 80s, she was a young girl, and she had this, she said it was an MGM 3D Technicolor live dream that God gave her.
Yeah.
And she said the army that was marching through Kentucky shook the whole state. There were so many soldiers. And when they came, they killed everybody. And what the soldiers did not kill, they had aircraft planning in chemical and biological warfare to get those that were in hiding. And no one escaped. She said in her dream that she dove in one of those big, black trash cans you put at the end of the street.
Yeah.
And hid in there. And the Lord told her, cover your mouth and wait. And they didn't get her. But she said when she came out of the can and looked around, it was nothing but charred gray and black. The whole state of Kentucky was gone.
Sometimes God has sent me over the years repetitive dreams. I'll have a dream and it'll be sent to me again and again and again and again. And I finally say, okay, God, I got it. And one of those was where I see our own troops move into some of these cities, and they start collecting our own people. And I remember in one of those dreams, I was sent in there to get some of my family. And we got out. We got out of Dodge. And who would believe such a thing, right?
Well, we're coming back around in a full circle because we didn't learn from World War II. So what's happening now is we're coming back into full circle. And we're going to repeat it again now. And because if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're going to do them again. So you had 70 years to upgrade your weapons and 70 years to correct your mistakes. The wicked to try to correct their mistakes is what they made during World War II to do more of a thorough and finer job than they did during World War II. But this time, God's going to end it all. So,
well, for me, in the middle of the warnings, I believe that yesterday was and today is this message. I believe this is a part of the message. I believe that a new Passover is coming for those who will listen to God and follow His instructions. And no religious leader can do that for you. And that there are blessings for those of you who will listen and follow His instruction for you personally. Okay? And there is a shaking, a spanking even coming for this nation, for the kind of nation that we have become. This witchcraft that has taken over America, this satanic worship that has taken over America, our turning of our backs against our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and consequences are coming. I think we have a list of 20, and we are halfway there, and we have moments left. Kathy, let's see if we can go to number 11.
Number 11 is to the people who are involved in the occult New Age, Hindus, Buddhists, witches, sorcery, black magic, divination, are going to be coming out of the crowd. The body of Christ must be ready to take these people in and do deliverances and exorcisms on them. set them free from bondage, and disciple them and raise them up in the ways of my cross. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, but it'll be a quick work because it's not like it was during the 80s and the 70s and the 60s where you had to pray and work and get them out. And it's going to be a quick work. It'll be fast. It's not going to be like it was where you had to pray for days and fast for days to get somebody delivered or whatever. It's going to be a quick work.
Okay. I hear the music.
There's the music. We'll go on to 12 after the break, and we'll take calls when we're done. We're going through this as quickly as we can. This is the Morning Liberty Program at RBN. We'll be right back.
Introducing the new Go Berkey Kit, the first of its kind portable water purification system for those on the go. The new Go Berkey system has an amazing output of about 1 gallon an hour. Each Go Berkey kit includes a 1-quart high-quality stainless steel system, complete with a black Berkey purification element, a generic sports bottle, and a nylon carrying case. The whole kit weighs a mere 2¼ pounds. With an expected element life of around 3,000 gallons, you can refill the Go Berkey system up to an incredible 12,000 times before needing to replace the element. The new Go Berkey kit is perfect for backpacking, hiking, emergency packs, bug-out bags, international travel, car emergency kits, or for your desk at home or at work. Get your Go Berkey kit today for only $139 by calling 800-724-2719. That's 800-724-2719. Go to republicbroadcasting.org. The online store, it's a featured product.
Don't answer it!
If fear strikes your heart when the phone rings, knowing it may be another bill collector, it's time for you to call Zero Debt in 90 Days. 800-477-9256. Settlements, bankruptcy, and attorneys are not the answer and may end up costing you up to 10 times more than necessary. Listen, if you're already in debt, does it make sense to get buried in another payment plan? Zero Debt in 90 Days gets you out of debt in 90 days guaranteed, without a payment plan and without attorneys or going to court. Get the fastest relief from debt on the planet when you call 800-477-9256. If you have debt with the IRS, credit cards, student loans, or a foreclosure, we can help at Zero Debt in 90 Days, and we are the only organization to provide written guarantees on the results. Go to ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. That's ZeroDebtGuaranteed.com. Or call now for free information. 800-477-9256. That's 800-477-9256.
Estrogen dominance, a brand new 20th century disease, a phrase coined by Dr. John R. Lee 35 years ago. Dr. Lee proved that all the estrogen that is coming from food and water is having a devastating effect on our health. The rapid rise in breast cancer, uterine cancer, prostate cancer, weight gain, osteoporosis, feminizing of our boys, and early puberty of our girls, and also the destruction of natural killer cell function. Natural killer cells are our only protection from cancer and viral infection. Dr. Lee found that using natural progesterone, about 20 milligrams per day, would not only reverse osteoporosis, but would greatly reduce the cancer issues as well as dozens of other health challenges we face today. Visit our website, healthlinkamerica.com, to order the DVD on hormone imbalance. Learn how hormone imbalance destroys the immune system and get started on natural progesterone and Cyto-S. It will not only change your life, it may in fact save your life. Once again, that website is healthlinkamerica.com.
From the hands it came down, from the side it came down, from the feet it came down, and ran to the ground.
You see, I think that many mothers and fathers across America right now are having dreams and visions, and God is speaking to their heart. The question is, who's listening? Okay, God is speaking. The question is, who's listening? And then, who's ready to move? If God's speaking to your heart and telling you to move, to act on His instruction, how many people are ready to move on His direction? Interesting. I appreciate Jack Johnston joining us this morning and sharing with us what God has put upon his heart. And there are some people who would think this is completely ridiculous, and there are other people who would say, well, yeah, I get it. I understand. Thank you for the warning. And Kathy, Rubio, thanks for bringing Jack to our attention and sharing with us what he has to share.
You're very welcome. We're going to go to 12. This is the word of the Lord to my people. Tell them that things in the world are much further along than they think. I am coming sooner than most people think, for a people that are looking for me. So hold on and don't give up. Look up. Your redemption draweth nigh. Jack?
Yeah, that's true. He's coming sooner than most people think. They think they got all the time in the world to be, messing around. But see, he's going to come in an hour they at least think not and catch them off guard. So it's basically self-explanatory there that a lot of people just think that, it's going to go on and on and on. No, he told me very clearly. He said it's set in stone, day, time, and hour for this nation when it comes under judgment. There's no praying it back. That's why in Revelation chapter 18 it says, pay her back double. And what should have been happening is they should have been back during the 60s praying God's judgment on the church then, because judgment brings repentance. And if they'd have done it then, we might not be in the situation we are now. And so what's happened is they kept praying it off, praying the judgment off. Well, now it's going to hit double. And that's where you see in Revelation, pay her back double just as she has done according to her deeds.
See, I believe the church is bringing this on quicker, too, because the church has lied to the people for so very long. And then the church has used prophets, and all they've been doing is prophesying, peace, peace, where there is no peace. Well, when you say the word peace, peace, people automatically think of war in the world, and so they're looking around and they're not seeing any real wars that are making them worry about Jesus coming. And what it's really talking about is peace, peace where there is no peace with God. They had no peace because they were taught lies in the church. And so God is going to hold every one of those prophets, those teachers responsible for this false teaching that's been going on. Yeah. I know myself, I got into many churches and I would hear prophets prophesying all the time. And I knew that the word that they were getting was not what God was giving them. Yeah. Because God was giving me a word at the same time. It should have matched, and it never did.
Well, that goes back to 2 Chronicles, I think, chapter 18, where Ahab and Jeroboam are sitting up there, and Ahab's got all his prophets out there prophesying they're going to have victory in war. And I think it's Jeroboam that sits there and says, "Are you sure there's not another prophet around here that we can require of?" And then Ahab goes, "Yeah, there's one, but I can't stand him. It's Micah." Well, go get him, and let's hear what he's got to say. And he got Micah and brought him out there, and he says, "What do you say?" It's like you say, Ahab, you're going to have victory and peace and love and all of this other stuff. And he says, "How many times have I told you to tell me the truth?" He says, "I see all the children of Israel like sheep scattered on the mountains. Don't go to war. Let there be peace." But he wouldn't listen, and he ended up dying.
So that's a big part of the issue, is who is speaking the truth. These days, most of the time we get told what they think we want to hear. What a bunch of garbage. We'll be right back. This is RBN.
The next